Today, the smartphone is an integral part of life for us. We use it to call, text, waste time, listen to music, GPS, calendar, stream movies, and much more.
Not long ago, the first cell phone came out, and it was $9,000 in real prices, and it weighed a whopping 1.75 pounds, 6 times the weight of a conventional iPhone. Not to mention, they could only be used for 60 minutes at a time, and sound quality was terrible.
It seems as though the cell phone has progressed quite quickly. Today, we take the cell phone as a beneficiary of technological progress, whereas in some countries, it's an important source of progress, especially in developing countries.
Technological advancements, like the cell phone, are seen to advance the efficiency for fishermen in developing countries. For example, if a farmer had no cell phone, he would not know the demand that day for fish was at the market. Simply, it would be a guessing game for the farmer every time he went out to catch fish. This leads to shortages or surpluses of fish. Surpluses eventually lead to wasting the fish because sellers cannot find a buyer. This inefficiency leads to extremely volatile fluctuations in the price of fish. If the fisherman did not catch enough, the fish farmer has to sell at a high price. If the fisherman caught too much, they have to sell at a lower price, or sometimes give it away for free.
Now, the fisherman has a cell phone and can call ahead of time to determine the demand for fish that day and which market would give him the best prices for his fish. Now the fisherman is more informed and he can catch fish at a more efficient rate. He would no longer have to guess if he needed to catch more or less. Fish are now rarely wasted. With the adoption of the cell phone, it is rare for sellers to not be able to find a buyer for their fish.
Look at the following models of the prices at each region the farmer was selling his fish at. The vertical bar, phones added, represents the date phones were available for farmers. Notice before the cell phone was implemented, fluctuations in prices were crazy. Notice after the cell phone was implemented, the prices are less volatile and more stable. The flow of information between sellers and buyers is drastically more efficient because sellers know how much they should catch, according to how much the buyer is willing to pay for the fish. We can now look at how the technological advancement of the cell phone affects the production function of a developing economy in the solo growth model. The solo growth model measures the growth of countries. According to the model, growth eventually slows to what is called a steady state. Steady state is when investment of capital, land or labor, and capital equals depreciation, and any additional investment would not make sense because the depreciation rate would be greater. Eventually, this causes output to slow down. To counteract this slow growth of output, technological advancements, such as the cell phone, are injected into an economy to make laborers more efficient in terms of output per capital. Laborers are still using the same amount of capital, but more efficiently. Eventually, output increases, making an economy grow and more productive.